Welcome, everybody. We are excited to be at RecFest 2025. I've got to look at the right camera here. We are in the Purple Acorn tent. I want to give a special shout out to our friends at Basic Capital for just making sure that we could host these conversations. It's been a great day so far, and we're going to be having some great conversations today as well. So I got my first guest with us. Why don't you do us a favor? Tell us who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. Those are my three questions.
Okay. All right. So my name's Jennifer Beckman. I am the HR director at Long Building Technologies. We are an HVAC building automation, mechanical services, specialty contractor, and we are making a difference in the world every day.
I love it.
And lead our talent acquisition team as well. So always looking for new ways to find talent.
Yeah.
We definitely are in a talent shortage type of industry.
Yeah.
So love connecting with people like you to learn a little bit more about, what we can be doing for those authentic connections, because in line with our culture is those authentic connections.
Yeah, I mean, it's we were talking beforehand. I know with the trades in particular, massive talent shortage, aging population as well within the field. So I'm curious from your perspective. There's a lot of these AI tools out here. You go for a walk around, you're going to find a ton of different AI tools. How are you using AI within your process? Are you seeing your TA team using AI to attract people? Like, I guess, what are you excited about as far as AI goes and attracting tradespeople?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot happening. You're right. It might be, because there's so much happening, it might be easier to say or tell you the things we're not doing.
Yeah, I love that.
Because, And so, we're experimenting on our side, building out our own tools, because we think that there's some space for that, because then it can be more aligned with us and our culture. And then, of course,
keeping your brand voice and things like that.
Yes, yeah. And then, of course, within our ATS, there's some AI that's happening. But what we aren't doing, at least right now, I can see maybe years in the future, we're considering this, is bringing in AI to, there's this kind of this sweet spot, right? Like, you can use AI really, at the very beginning stages of, finding the resume, finding the candidate.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's the sweet spot of connection.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's helpful, at least for us, and given our culture, to leverage AI too soon.
Yeah. As
it relates to that connection. The connection's really important. We want to build relationship in the recruiting process. So, it's great to be here to understand, how are these AI companies, how are they solving for that piece?
Yeah.
Where the intersection between the relationship and the technology.
We talking to, obviously, with that shortage, you're not getting necessarily a lot of applications, right? It's not a lot of, you're not getting thousands of applications for these jobs. So I'm curious, what is your plan? How are you kind of working? I guess, are you working with schools? How are you kind of working to have a plan for the future, given that there's just so much work and demand for these types of projects as well, with even with AI. I mean, they're building data centers everywhere. Yeah. So what are you doing to kind of help with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So we are working with post-secondary schools, as well as our local high schools. There is a lot happening in the Denver metro area as it relates to integration with pre-college or post-high school kind of education within the trades. So we're building relationships there as well, so that up-and-coming entry-level employees who are interested in the trades know who we are. And then in addition, once they get into the organization, we've built out career pathing as well as apprenticeship programs to kind of support someone who wants to get into the trades.
I love it.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot more, Gen Z as well seem to be more attracted to the trades, just given everything that's happened in tech over the last few years. And we're hearing a lot of headlines around a lot of tech jobs getting replaced by AI, and there's not going to be as much demand. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing a lot more interest? And I guess how how are you kind of branding that employment-wise to kind of show them like what it's actually like in these jobs? Because obviously it's a very different type of job than what you maybe find in tech.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's interesting. I think there's an opportunity for us in that. So you had a couple of questions. So one is the integration from, being within technology career space into more of a construction based. So our building automation
Yeah.
division is really that intersection where we're hiring people into those roles who have, in some cases, a technology background. We know that if somebody is serving in a development role or programmer role, they likely have the acumen for a job in building automation. The challenge, so we know that. The challenge is other people don't really understand all that building automation is, and so helping kind of bridge that gap. So I think there is an opportunity there, and we're working on it.
I know, we have a lot of listeners too who have, maybe kids that are entering that later high school, going into college. What advice would you give to parents who maybe, have their kids coming to them and go, hey, what should I do? And like, I'm nervous about all these shifts that we're seeing in tech and even with a lot of these corporate jobs. Like, what advice do you have for parents to just not guide them in the direction of the trades, but I don't know, give them kind of more of a balanced view on what the trades is? Because I feel like there could just be misconceptions out there about what those career paths are.
100%. And I'm glad you're asking the question because parents tend to be our biggest barrier to getting kids in the trades. Parents want their kids to go to a 4-year college and I think it is lack of education. Their parents maybe that's the path they took, so it's the comfortable way.
Yeah.
And they don't really truly know all that comes with being in the trades and the true career growth that can happen in the trades. And so, I would just say, like, if your kids are in high school right now, even junior high, like, you're looking in your community for what possibilities there are for education and what integration is happening within some of these tech schools. In the Denver area, we have Legacy Campus, we have Epic, we have Warren Tech, and those organizations are working with high schools. And so I think as a parent, becoming really aware of what is in my community, how can I get my kids plugged in to at least explore it as an option before they graduate, and then they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. One of the things too I've heard from a lot of people who are exploring the trades is maybe the culture. It's maybe it's a little bit more rough and ready than like a corporate culture, or you can kind of hear those horror stories about you go work at a mom and pop like HVAC shop, and it's a harder work environment.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that? And like, I guess how do you kind of guard against that, or how do you kind of guard against having like that older generation conflicting with the younger generation? Like, how do you create a culture where maybe older people are mentoring younger people, and it's an inviting culture for them? Like, how do you kind of bridge that gap?
It's a great question. So we have done many employment engagement surveys, and almost every time, I would say probably every time, the most discussed word in those surveys is family.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about family. We are a long family. It's and I don't know anybody who doesn't want that sense of community.
Yeah.
And so we feel like that is one of the things that we have that's our secret sauce. Like, we take care of each other. We help each other grow in those. And so I think that transcends generations.
Yeah, and the last thing here too, I know like remote work has obviously become really popular. It seems like a lot of people, want to work remotely. But I've also seen in the last couple of years a pushback for some people who are wanting those social connections. So like, how do you kind of communicate that to candidates, of how important it is to have that human connection while you're at work in that community, like you're talking about?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Well, I guess, have you seen more of a desire for people like coming in that they're like, hey, I want to do work with my hands. I want to go in.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I think now more than ever, really. And I think now more than ever, people desire the connection. So, we do certainly have some positions that are remote based or can work remotely occasionally, like a hybrid, right? isn't something that really impacts the talent pool for us. Yeah, I think people want to be around one another.
Yeah.
It's what we find to be true.
I love it. I love it. Well, you're at RecFest. Is it your first time at RecFest?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. How are you finding it? What's the vibe like?
It's awesome. I mean, I can tell that people, they want to know what else they can be doing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity for innovation in recruiting. I'm sure you know that, having served on the agency side for quite some time. It's exciting. It's really exciting. So
amazing.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
where can
glad to
people
be here.
connect with you? What's the best place to find out what you're up to and what you're doing?
Yeah. On LinkedIn.
Amazing.
Jennifer Beckman, Long Building Technologies. That's probably the best way right now.
Awesome. And we have a special gift too from our sponsors, Basic Capital, which I'll give to you.
Awesome.
So
Thank
we've
you
got
so
some
much.
good goodies in there.
Appreciate that.
And are you going to be speaking as well? Are you doing a session?
I am not. I am an observer this year, but maybe in the future.
What session are you most excited about? Putting you on the spot here.
Yeah. There's so many. I'm just excited. I'm popping into all of them because I think there's just great content all over. And
I love it.
I think we're learning from some really good experts here in the industry. So it's really exciting.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for joining
Yes.
us. And guys, we got 2 more guests today as well, which I'm really, really excited about. Jennifer, thank you so much
Yes.
for connecting.
Absolutely.
And I always say, if you're going to connect with a guest on LinkedIn, just be mindful that Jennifer's probably not hanging out on LinkedIn all day like me. So just say, hey, I heard you on the podcast, and send that connection request out.
Awesome.
So thank you so
Perfect.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you guys.